Hi guys! All right, so you know what I'm doing, Shannon? I'm doing a digital detox.
Stop it.
I decided.
Stop it right now.
I know.
I'm not buying it. Like, do you mean like when you go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, you're not going to take your phone with you? Or what does that mean?
I know. Okay, so listen. So we did this story. I did the story at work about this woman. She's an author. And she decided that for a week, she was going to do no cell phone.
Wow.
No cell phone.
Wow.
And no social media. So she can still check email on her computer.
Okay.
She has a landline if she needs to call people.
All right.
But no cell phone and no social media for a week. Okay? And she talked about all these things that she really recognized in herself after that week. First of all, she had to ask for directions. She says she has no sense of direction. And so not having her GPS was a huge thing.
Yeah.
She said she didn't realize how often she had to pick up her phone. She goes, in the grocery checkout line, you know, at the stoplight.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
When she's waiting in the waiting room.
Downtime.
Any downtime. Any downtime. She
Yep.
said she did not realize how often she was reaching for her phone.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought that was kind of mind-blowing that she talked about was how uneasy other people were with her decision to go technology free. Like all of her friends were like, well, let me know when you're back in the real world.
Right.
You know?
And how am I going to reach you?
Right.
And,
how am I going to reach you? It's like, okay, remember in 1990?
Yeah.
You know,
when the phone was a workout, you had to like,
right.
Hello.
She also said she noticed how different her brain is on technology. And we've talked about this before, but the studies that link ADHD in children who have a lot of screen time, she says, I can completely understand that.
Yeah.
Because it really, your brain is overstimulated.
Yep, all the time.
And the one other thing that I thought was really interesting that she said happened was she started to connect with her old self. So all those little pauses in your day that you normally would just sit and reflect or
go inside. Oh, why am I anxious right now?
Right.
Kind of like talking yourself through.
No, because now we have this and we just pick it up. And for instance, I was waiting for you in my car. And what was I doing while I was waiting? I was on my phone.
She was not in a digital detox, I can tell you that.
No, but I'm definitely going to do it because I really feel like it has started to impact my life.
Yep.
And, you know, we talk about how, you know, oh, the kids these days, they're all screwed up because of technology. But I think we really need to take a good hard look at ourselves as adults and what it's doing to us.
Well, because if the kids are screwed up, they don't fall too far from the tree. Right? So like, who is impacting them? And there's this article called The Silent Tragedy Affecting Today's Children. And let me tell you something, strap in if you're a parent, because it punched me right in the face, right? Yeah. And it has that impact because what it's saying is, how could our kids not be screwed up? How could we not have all these 43% increase in ADHD, 37% increase in teen depression, and 1 in 5 children has mental health issues? That, she says, how could we not have that when we have emotionally unavailable parents? We have digitally distracted parents, indulgent parents who let the kids rule the world, a sense of entitlement rather than responsibility, inadequate sleep and nutrition, true, sedentary indoor lifestyle, because as parents you're doing a million things. They're on the computer, they're on the video game. Okay, you know what, let me just get this done, and this getting done turns into 3 hours instead of an hour. Endless stimulation through technological babysitters, instant gratification, and absence of dull moments. This author is saying, why wouldn't we have all these issues with our children? So really, we do need to look at ourselves first and then look at what we're passing on. You know,
Shannon did this segment recently, and she kind of talked about some of the things that parents should be doing to kind of, you know, because we're not talking about we can't go backwards. You know, the technology is where it is, and this is the wave of the future, and kids are going to be getting jobs based on what they know about this technology. But I do think we need to take a step back and see how it really is impacting our psyches and those of our children. And I found it interesting, some of the things she was recommending that you do, and one of them, which we had to do as kids, but I don't feel like parents get their children to do anymore, is give them chores.
Yeah, guilty.
You know,
Guilty as
because
charged.
they come home, there's so much pressure to make sure they're doing well in school. They have all these activities that they're doing as well. And so you kind of feel like, well, they're doing so much, they shouldn't have to do chores around the house.
Right.
But in reality, they should.
Well, that's, think about what that taught, because as I was going through the things they should be doing, I kept looking at Suzanne going, that was what we had to do.
Right.
And not that we're the golden standard, but I do feel like I have a good sense of family values. I do feel like I had to contribute in my life. That's what the chores is about, is, hey, you live in this home too. We're a family. I'll do this, you do that. We're a team. And we don't really do that. We kind of segregate them out, like, oh, you're the golden child. You're at the special arts school and you're at the special school, for highly intellectual kids. You're overwhelmed, you're overstimulated, you're doing 5 sports. I'll do everything over here. And we're teaching them, like, you're not a part of, you're not having to contribute to the whole. I'll do this, you do that. And I think it really has made them entitled and not feel like they need to contribute, like they just need to be supported. Right?
Yeah, so I told my kids last week, I said, we're going to start chores. And do you know what I was most surprised by? They did not bat an eyelash.
It probably makes them feel more a part of.
And now my son is reminding me that he has to do his chores. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
You know why? How old's your son?
8.
7 or 8? Okay,
8.
so he's 8. That's competency. He likes chores because he feels like, you know what? I'm a big boy.
Right.
Mom needs me to contribute and I'm making an impact. So he's feeling competent. And that's so true. When you look at kids today, 19, 20, 25, the self-esteem numbers are plummeted. Nobody's feeling competent. They're not feeling capable. Shame on us, because we're doing everything for them. We're taking their competency away. When I went to college, I felt really competent. I knew how to do the laundry. I knew how to do everything because I did it in my house growing up because my mom was busy working, whatever. So I had a lot of chores. So I'm looking around me at these other kids that are like, I don't know how to do the laundry.
Anything.
And I'm like, get out of the way. And that made me feel
kids that don't even know how to
competent.
dress themselves.
Yeah, because we just lay it out because it's quicker and we've got so much to do. So we really have robbed them. And I also think, looking at the digital, taking a time out, have you ever looked around a restaurant, a family restaurant, Chili's, TGI Friday, dinner time? Nobody's talking. Mom's on her phone. Dad's on the phone. Kids are on the phone. Nobody's connecting. And so I like what she said. It punched me in the face, but we are emotionally unavailable parents. We are. And it doesn't matter what the reason. I'll say to my kids, let me just return a couple of phone calls so then I'll be done with work.
Just got to get this text
let me just get this, this person's in crisis.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, they're in the middle of their story. They're trying to talk to you. And I've watched it in my own life and learned from it. When my kids were little, they'd start to tell a story and I go, I got to take that. Story's done.
Yeah.
They go in their room, they're on their computer, they're on whatever. They're done trying to connect with you.
Right.
So we really have to look at ourselves first and to start showing up and being emotionally available parents again, which means getting rid of that device at night.
Yeah.
I know, like...
Yeah, what were some of the other things that she had suggested? I really like playing a board game each day. Don't... Yep. And not coddling your children. I mean, making them pack their own backpacks. Yep. And... don't, if they forget something, don't go running to the school. I got to take Johnny his lunch or his book that he forgot. That's...
Letting them experience consequences. You forgot your book, your teacher's going to square up with you. Maybe you get a C for that day. Maybe you get in trouble. Maybe you have to stay after school. You deal with your consequences. That's the only thing that teaches us, really. The thing that keeps me from speeding mostly is I don't want a ticket. You know what I mean? Like, consequences do keep us in check. Right. So if you rescue your child every time they have a consequence, they don't learn that they need to remember their karate uniform or, to put a sticky note so that they remember to grab whatever out of the refrigerator. They'll never learn, they'll never develop those adult skills if you keep covering them. So she talks about providing nutritious food and limiting snacks. Again, I think our parenting's gotten kind of lazy. We're distracted. We're on the phone. We're trying to respond. We're trying to get an email out. Mom, can I have some I'm hungry. Grab a snack. Grab chip. We're getting kind of lazy, and she's confronting us on that. Provide nutritious food and limit snacks. Spend 1 hour a day in a green space. Hiking, outside, just taking a walk, on a bicycle, being out in the green, bird watching, playing with insects, stuff we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
Have a daily technology-free dinner. When we're at the dinner table, the phones are off and they're put away and we're connecting. We're talking about our day.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, you know.
But look in any restaurant.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their phones.
Right.
So we're not doing it.
No.
Involve your child in one chore a day. Implement sleep routines. I mean, I was guilty of this where I didn't always take the phone away. And so they're teenagers and they're on their phone half the night.
Yeah.
You know? Teach responsibility and independence. Don't overprotect them from their small failures. Mm-hmm. Don't pack your kids' backpack. Boredom. She talks a lot about boredom, and this is so powerful. God, I was an only child. I had Barbie worlds in my bedroom. I used my creativity, and I think it helps. You know, today I do have some writing skills and some other skills that are based on imagination and creativity because I didn't have anything to do. I was bored out of my skull, so I created Barbie worlds and did, you know, came up with all kinds of imaginative things. We don't allow our kids to have that creativity at all because we don't let them be bored.
I remember I used to play Office, you know, and my mom would bring home these like, you know, the things with the layers, you know, and I would pretend like I was at the office manager, you know, like stuff like that. We just don't, our kids don't, we don't let them do that anymore because we're filling all of their time with technology. And I think it's important that kids know how to use technology, and it's always going to be in their life, but I just feel like we really have to take a step back and look at how much it's impacting them and impacting us.
Impacting us, yeah. She said for us, turn off your phones until your kids go to bed. Become your child's emotional coach. Tell them to recognize and help them deal with their frustration and anger and their feelings, doing some feelings work. Teach them to take turns, share, empathy, table manners, conversation skills, and how to greet people, and connect with smiles and hugs and kisses, tickles, reading, dancing. This is all the stuff we did before we were sitting in separate chairs on our phones. Yeah. You know, so this is back to the basics. Yeah, so I'm going to do that digital detox next week, and I'm going to come back and tell you the results. So you're starting when? I'm starting Monday. Okay, so you're going to do it Monday to Monday? Monday, yeah. Okay. Monday to Monday. All right. Yeah. We'll tune back in and see how it works. we'll see how this goes. You know, I'm most worried about not having my cell phone because, you know, just like my daughter's like, how am I going to get in touch with you? And I said, well, we'll figure it out. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. So we trick ourselves with fear into being with our cell phone. So true story. I've always worried about my kids. You know, that's what keeps you hooked. I need my phone on at all times. I have kids and I'm not away from them. So my daughter's at college. But if I keep my phone on at night, I don't sleep because for whatever reason, text or what, people just think of, hey, when's my appointment? And they'll send it at 3 when they're up to go to the bathroom. And so I'm up. And so I said, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm turning it off, or I'll turn it on vibrate so that it really has to be someone urgent. And my daughter did. She had an incident at college. 911 was called. She passed out and this kind of thing. It wasn't the end of the world. But I had always said, you know what? I'm not the only line of defense. My husband's phone is on because he can leave it on with no problems. My parents live 6 blocks away. Her father is available. And so she did. She called my phone and she didn't get an answer, and she called her stepdad's phone, and so there we were. The phone rang in the middle of the night. I was able to be available. So we kind of trick ourselves into like thinking we're the only line. And the truth of the matter is, like, you know what? If his phone would have been off, they would have called my mom, and my mom would have driven over. You know, you don't have to be the only line of defense. Or she would have called her father. And guess what the irony is? When she called me, I said, call your father. His wife's a nurse. You know, I don't know. Call the nurse. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that should have been the first call anyway in that circumstance. Call the doctor staff. So I think it always works out. That goes back to our codependent ways that we think we're the only one. I'm the only one. You don't understand. And it's like, no, we're not the only ones. There's a village usually. You can do it. You can do it. And listen, I'm probably the worst. If you only knew how much I was on you know how much I'm on my phone, especially at work. Yeah, every time, in between every commercial. It's crazy. And so I really believe I'm addicted. I really believe I'm addicted. And if I can do it, you can do it. She's so, but we don't know if she can do it. I don't know if I can do it. We're checking back in next week. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions for show topics, please let us know. And leave us a comment about how you are digitally detoxing your life. Maybe you have some interesting ways that you're trying to get it out of your life or out of your children's lives. And don't forget to share our videos. It's the highest compliment you can give us. Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you back here next week. Take care.